All righty, got it done. I'll hit the done button. And got it. All righty, y'all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? All righty, y'all. Happy Holy Venus degree, guys. Like, welcome to this is the intro to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure Part 6, right? All right, so I think we're going to go over Rule 7, Rule 7.1, and Rule 8 pertaining to the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. And let's not forget, guys, that technically, if you're just a normal sentient being, right, you're not a federal, state, municipal, local, county, city employee, these things don't really apply to you. All righty. All right. These federal rules of civil procedure are actually just, you have to look at them for what they are. That's why if you guys go back in this series, you guys will clearly see, like, when we first went over these things, we were going in on the fact that this is the, Judicial Conference of the United States, right? That's what they're calling themselves now. They're supposed to have been the Judicial Conference of Senior Circuit Judges or something, stemming from 1922. And we went over that little slideshow where they're talking about their centennial and all these things of that nature. Because when you really do real research on law and the history of, like, the British Accredited Registry, you'll get back to something to about the 1300s, and you'll see the shield with like four heraldries, like 4 sections of this shield. And it's going to remind you of Harry Potter, which really, at the end of the day, when you really do real research and you're not just like an idiot sitting on your laurels, what you can actually do is really allow yourself to go and do the research and really do some real study and see that even when it comes to law, when it comes to jurisprudence, it stems back to us, period. All right, no disrespect to our Albion sons and daughters, but you guys are just a little over 1,070 years old. All righty, just a little bit. So if we were to go back, see, 1,000 years would be 23, peel off another 70 or so. We're at about 953. So if we go before the 950s, I don't really think you're going to come across too many Albions, honestly. And if you are coming across someone that are of lighter hue, they could be those before there was an actual, bleeding out, so to speak, of the copper-toned beings genome, so to speak, or the copper-toned being's essence in total. What you're going to get are those what I call the bridge beings, right? Those that were just, those manifestations throughout the experiment until you have an actual, oh, hey, look, we did enough experimenting with, the copper-toned beings that are the heirs pertaining to the land, and, going through these experiments and mixing genes with the chimpanzee so that, as what we've been doing through other intergalactic interactions with other beings as far as other planets are concerned. Now it's like, hey, we have this outcome of this experiment where we're mixing these genes with these genes to be able to get this outcome of a being that is falsely called white, Caucasian, some will say also. And again, this is no disrespect. This is us really putting things into perspective so that we can, get our heads up out our buttholes. Like, seriously, and I don't mean like myself or those of us that actually seriously study. I'm just saying collectively, out there to you all that seem like you need to hear some language or form of relating, because maybe a fez intimidates you. Maybe a brother that speaks clearly and appropriately, honestly, as far as how I put my words together, that may be threatening to you. It may be threatening to see, a Moorish American, with his standard and his MA button and the Sharif's badge and a scarf and a kirta with the Nero collar. I don't know. That may not be hood enough for you. However, I'm not here to impress idiots, respectfully. Because how I look at people how I think we all should be looking at each other, and that's with the utmost respect. So when you have no self-respect, don't expect me to cater to your lack of self-respect. That's just all I'm saying. All righty. So I don't really have time to cater to anyone's lack, in self-respect, so to speak. So that's just how that goes. Right. I had no idea I didn't take the security off. Peace of greens, brother Sean. Islam.
Islam, bro.
Islam, broski. I don't know if that was your first time trying to come in, but just you can see we're live. I didn't even know I didn't take the security off once I came back in, bro. So pardon me on that one. However, guys, like I was saying, hey, look, I wanted to say all of that to also say, like, I really think, and this is to sincere, alrighty, true and faithful Moorish Americans, you need to look at your zodiac constitution thoroughly again. Like, if you got a copy from R.V. Bey Publications, alrighty, and has the preface, in the preface in by Brother Hasan Bey, like, just let your spirit discern what's right. Some elders, have warned me that there may have been some editorials that have not been officially sanctioned to be made. Alrighty. However, getting to the bottom of that is another thing too, because in no way, shape, or form am I about disrespecting any elders. Like, I respect the elders. I'm not blind, so I can see which elders are cool with other elders and maybe not. I can see which, are just doing whatever they can do to keep themselves afloat or whatever. And then I see which elders will tell the truth pertaining to the history. And now it's just a matter of really, solidifying it, because I wasn't there to witness things that actually occurred. So how could I say I'm a competent witness to the events when really all I can do is just cognitively discern by just seeking the evidence there too, and seeing if anyone will be willing to, give a truthful account to what's being put in front of our faces. However, that's why it's always good, you can get, to speak to elders that really are, those that have history, those that have books and things of that nature that will show you that there's been changes made, unqualified. So but what I'm saying is, for the materials that we have now, what it would be best to do is, be able to just read them, be sincere to meet Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his literature, and as you go through these books pertaining to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, just have that in your heart. And when you read Charles Mosley Bey's literature, also meet him in his literature also, so you can be able to grasp that which you need without getting into membership spats. This more agrees or disagrees with that more over there. What I've recognized in the past 8.5, almost 9 years, for me, it'll be 9 years in November, since taking nationality and birthright seriously. When people ask questions like, so when did you become a Moor? I don't know, when my dad bust that nut and the sperm actually was like, bang, there you go. I guess that's when it happened. I mean, there's no real answer to that, except, I've always been that. I've always been, because I don't look at Moors like, oh, there's these group of people that identify with terms and phrases in this way, so that means that they're Moors. No, I look at the science to it. I look at the science of the fact that there's an ovum, an egg, right? The ovum, through a process called oogenesis. Oogenesis is when every about 28 and a half days, according to the moon cycle, you'll have an ovum, all righty? Exit ovary, travel the fallopian tube, and then moor itself, all right? Attach, anchor, moor itself to the endometrium, which lines the uterus pertaining to mother, all righty? So with that being said, there's an action that's occurring. There's a verb happening before the noun. All righty. So I'm guessing was more ever since I attached to my mom's endometrium, awaiting the defibrillation from my father's sperm, and that sperm that was given to him by his mother. That answer just satisfy your, your investigation? I mean, I'm being a bit facetious in presentation. However, I'm being completely sincere and honest in my wording, though. Just to kind of add a little humor to it. However, at the same time, just also giving all sincere, true and faithful Moorish Americans out there a means to be able to take this language, because I know that's what Moors do. You know what I'm saying? When we hear proper language, we adjust and we make sure we adapt by adopting that within our own vocabulary choices, right? That's what we do. You know what I mean? So with that being said, now you'll have a better means of, saying who you are, what you are. And then I know there's beings out there that try every way, shape, or form, like, well, I wouldn't call myself a Moor. I wouldn't identify as a Moor. What other process is happening inside your mom? I'll wait. Well, how would you know? Did you go and check it out? Because that may be, that's the only thing that just makes sense to me. I don't know. Maybe you are a stork carried baby. Your mom and dad got together and they called Acme Baby Services, and then there was a stork that was a little drunk, but he made his way and flew and got you to your mom and daddy. I don't know. That might be who you are. You might be a storkish American. I don't know. However, for me, I would say that what makes sense, and based on actual reading, instead of listening to your homeboys who are probably idiots, listening to people who think just they got some type of college education. We already know people that go to college are super fools. You know what I mean? Because they're not really doing anything but learning how to be good slaves in the end of the day, honestly. So they don't even challenge the stuff that they're even reading and go along without any real evidence. They don't even challenge it. So, those of us that are scholars and know how to actually challenge the things presented to us by doing our own investigations, we can, come to great conclusions, all righty, really, really good conclusions, all righty, in making sure that we can have a competent way of describing why we see things the way we see things, why we're calling things why we're calling them, because we've allowed ourselves to make multiple reference points and can be able to, direct others there, because what we prefer, I first and foremost, Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, prefers to you believe nothing I say. I don't believe anything I say. I'm gonna send you out to go and challenge it. Matter of fact, let me give you the keys to the conveyance so that you can go on a fantastic voyage in trying to prove what I'm saying wrong. Because I'm trying to tell you, you trying to prove it wrong, you're going to prove it right. And you may find some things more than I found. So then hopefully you'll bring it back, and be like, hey man, I found this too along in my studies also. Oh, okay, great. Let me further research that. And let me see what I get. Let me see what I can discern when I further research that, right? Because a lot of people have been socially engineered. Some people can't even get past the fact that they're looking at brown skin and still call themselves Black. Think about that. That's tough. That's tough. Can you imagine me calling myself the same color as my fez? Does that make sense? No, but people are arrogant in their beliefs, right? And it's like when you go and bring actual evidence and science, they feel threatened. Why? Because now they've set their life up on a certain level. It's okay. It's okay. We all have to change our mind. That's what repentance actually is. Repent means to change your mind. And there's nothing wrong with doing that if you're not proud, right? Because pride leadeth before the destruction. So you're only destroying yourselves and being proud by being arrogant, tied to misnomers and misclassifications that you can't qualify outside of you being a product of your environment and being socially engineered, right? So with that being said, guys, I think when we go in on Rule 7, pertaining to the federal rules of civil procedure today. We want to go over Rule 7, Rule 7.1, and Rule 8. I still think it will be prudent for I and Brother Sean to go over the Zodiac Constitution. What do you think, Brother Sean?
Definitely, indeed, just to go over all our stuff. The very important parts, because folks might not read it, or they'll read it and don't really grasp it and really get it. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah,
I think it's definitely levels to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think we're going to leave homework with you guys, because I think we're just going to go over that, but maybe the introduction, because I, Brother Sean, and our bros, we were just, we have our own private study sessions, and they're intense. For me, they're intense because I get to really see where we're really focusing our energies on, and I think when we get together and do our collective studies amongst ourselves, it's like a laser beam of focus. And it's like, it's just like so much gets completed in the spirit that once we're going to move forward in making things manifest, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, it's like we already know, like, the spirit that we put behind in the research is going to be right there on the paper, right there on the correspondence via email, right there in the conversation when we call these beings. And I know they can sense that. However, we're not trying to be something. We're just being sincere, true, and faithful. All righty. And so we want to just kind of go over briefly, just maybe a few things like I said, the introduction, maybe Article 2 and Article 4. In the Zodiac Constitution, because you guys will see even more, especially you being sincerely Moorish American. You're not calling yourself white, yellow, orange, Negro, black, colored. You're not attaching yourself to these labels that are proven, not by me, proven by the systems that use them, that they're just social engineering misclassifications. That's it. I'm not to be socially engineered. Period. I tell the truth. Regardless of if someone it's not my fault someone's ears allow themselves to have their feelings hurt when words hit them. One would have to blame their own thinking. They would have to blame their own vocabulary list that has been stored in their brains and the emotions that they've tied to that. It's like this, for example. Imagine there's a pale skin out there, and I call the pale skin, to me, is the real nigger. The pale skin is the black person. Why? Because I know etymologically the word black denotes pale. Period. I know that. I know black denotes pale. And since I know that, can you imagine a pale skin looking at me and being like, "You nigger"? I'm like, is there a mirror here? That's how I'm going to react to it. I'm going to react like I held up a mirror to them and they're talking to themselves. Why? Because I comprehend that which they don't. My skin isn't pale. I know the word black etymologically from the Old English, attested into language between 450 AD and 1100 AD. I know black denotes pale. I know that. Now, if you're someone out there that's never come across that, then it would probably, maybe you could humble yourself. Maybe you can go and read and be like, oh, look at this, and then find other references, right? So you don't have to go around in life being offended. All right? What do you think, Brother Sean? Am I being an asshole?
Nah, folks are just the assholes holding on to their beliefs, but it's not popular to not call oneself terms and labels that allude to slavery. That's not popular. So when presented with something, they then have to make a conscious decision to reject it or to accept it and move on from what they was taught. And most of the time, they're not going to do the second part. They're just going to reject what's being brought to them, and because it's not popular. It's not popular to call yourself a Moor and not understand what skin tone and different words mean. That's not popular because folks don't make a profit off of people right? Instead of listening to the prophet, you let beings make a profit off of y'all. And I don't know what it is, like, you know, that hypnosis. I mean, it's deep, but it's not hard. I mean, you know, Brother Todd speaks on the third grade etymology level, you know what I'm saying, for free. And it's literally just to read a word. And then folks are reading, and we know it's cognitive dissonance, but it's like, you know, we're giving you the truth. And you don't want to take it and research it, as you said before. And then with them trying to prove it wrong, they're going to prove it right. And they'll probably either don't want to admit it, or like whatever it is, or what are they fearful of? And like, what are you so scared to be yourself? Like, I was just thinking, you know, the book from R.E. Bey, are you in denial of your ancestry? But at the same time, they'll say, I'm ancient this king, you know, and it just amazes me. Like, and it's sickening, and, you know, like, and you want better and you want more, but it's like, it's been said for so long, and I don't know. Like I said, we do what we do. We continue to move forward, and you know we're going to continue to keep laying it out there. But it shouldn't be that hard to grasp. You folks complain about stuff all day, and it's like, yo, you're not that. Like, you can't be crayons, but it's just like you know, truthful words falling on deaf ears. So it's like words falling on deaf ears.
Islam. So this is probably going to be the conclusion of our casual speech, because I think I purposely want to go over rules, rules over federal rules. Indeed, go over the federal rules of civil procedure 7, 7.1, and 8, because they're fairly short. And then we're going to get into the Zodiac Constitution, those portions, because I think the energy that I am speaking on now is like, okay, let's look at the federal rules of civil procedure. These things you really do not have to do, because you're not qualified to actually do them, in the sense that it wasn't meant for you to do. However, when one and most beings, since under occupation, maybe, just maybe, and this is what we're invoking, that you utilize these rules against beings that are subjected to those rules. Period. That's what we're saying. And when you know a thing, then it's easier to kind of deal with the thing in a much more prudent position. You know what I mean? So I think we're going to get into, as you can see, pleadings and forms of motions and things of that nature. So Rule 7, Rule 7.1, and Rule 8, they're fairly short, especially Rule 7 and Rule 7.1. So I think this Friday and Sunday, today and Sunday coming, Brother Sean is going to open with the Moorish American prayer. If I remember correctly, I will have the first letter to be read in every meeting. Brother Sean will have the second letter to be read in every meeting, and I will close out with our invocation out. All right. Does that sound about right, Brother Sean?
That is correct. Yeah, because I did close out last cycle. Correct.
Indeed. So let me make sure that our Holy Day introduction is cued. In the Zaibuch, yes, the Holy Degree instruction is cued. That looks perfect. Okay, so this is where I am going to share this clean, right? As a matter of fact, you know what I didn't do here? Let me go and spotlight us also. Boom, there you go, bro. Mm-hmm. And boom, there I go. So we can have the dual screen situation there. All righty. Let's just jump right into this, guys. This is one that's going to be fairly short. However, we're making sure that it is packing a sincere, true, and faithful jurisprudence punch, so to speak, that you guys will be able to take for yourselves and nourish yourselves both spiritually and physically by, you know, acting on these things with a jurisprudence mind. I mean, sooner than later, we all are going to be probably being able to come into Zooms and go over these things together. You won't just have to go over them with us just by watching YouTube. I'm pretty sure though a lot of people have been responding, saying, commenting that it's helpful. That's great. I think, we would like to plan some things where, you guys can just speak to us. We throw a workshop. You know what I mean? The first workshops we're thinking about is some astrology workshops. However, I think also it would be good to have some jurisprudence exercise workshops also, so that, certain questions can be asked by some of you guys out there. Because I know it's, concept correction is my thing. That's all I'm about. Ever since I first went House Reawakening Minds to assist Brother Taj the best way that I could, it was only for concept correction. That's it. That's all. And that's why we explain things the way that we explain it, and we say things that we say. However, at the end of the day, we're only here for people that are going to be sincere scholars. That's it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? I forgot that quick, babe. That's funny. I forgot that quick. I love you. Thank you. This is amazing. Thank you. All right. So now I can't believe I forgot that. I was the one that mentioned it. Okay. Anyway, that's funny, right? So where was I? We're really for the scholars. All right. So guys, you really want to sincerely study. You're not just trying to, self-aggrandized. Self-aggrandizement is just patting yourself on the back. Look at me. Look what I've done. You know what I mean? Whatever. It's really about, okay, let me see if I can correct my concepts, not have my pride in the forefront. And let me see what I can actually do to better myself for the sake of my loved ones, not for the sake of being recognized, noticed. How many girls can I get? How much Federal Reserve notes I can, or whatever currency is acceptable and popular or whatever. It's really not about that, because at the end of the day, there was a point in time when people weren't using so-called currency in the form that you know it as. What happens when, the currency was, when the Haudenosaunee, you know what I mean? The Haudenosaunee, who are called by the French Iroquois, right? When they were using wampum shells. You ready to go back to wampum shells? Some of you guys are like, what's a wampum shell? Right? Well, it's in your great law of peace. Right? Ready to go back to wampum shells? Because eventually the real currency, what you guys are going to have to see, is your energy to be able to, be competent, get along with one another. If there's a goal, work on it together. Like, like that pretty popular video of Amish community building a barn in one day. You see how all of them came together, got that barn done?
Yeah, I've seen it myself in persona when we was doing carpentry. We was building this house, and they came over, and I don't think they got in a day because they had to do like an actual big shed, but they was like on it, like all together. You know what I'm saying? Inform. That's what we need to get back to. I don't know why people want to keep believing in everybody else but ourselves, but be arrogant and not do anything for ourselves. Like somebody's gonna like, hey, they're good now. And it's like, and this is collectively for everybody, not just Moors, but the Albions and whatever, tribe or whatever. It's gonna have to come back to the people and everyone uplifting each other, not
which are Moors too.
Prize, exactly. Like we're all Moors, like, but folks not really accept that level and really fix these issues of making prize off each other and being 15 USC 17, making our labor energy, like bro was saying with currency, like
Federal Reserve
notes. The Federal Reserve notes are worthless. Like one day it could just be done. Like folks, like what Prophet Noble Lee put in the oral statements and prophecies. Like you'll see a $20 bill and just walk over it or just leave it. And paraphrasing, like it has no worth, but it's only backed by what people think about it. These labels and terms are only backed by what people give to it. If people decide to not give energy into it, like they do the bullshit or whatever else they don't like and they won't give energy to, if they had that same energy for these things that they believe in, we can move forward a lot quicker. But
correct.
There just has to be a lot of healing, and yes, folks are going to have to let their whole cookie, foundation crumble in order for everyone to be able to get back into harmony here. Some
Correct.
folks just can't have all the so-called finance and rule. Like, no, like people got to wake up. Like your energy is not nothing wrong if one wants to job and be a builder or anything. It's that when one has to use their energy, their labor to pay for things that's already been in place here for us. Like I was telling Auntie today, I was like, man, why do these beings charge for air? Like, how are they charging for air, electricity and shit? Like, they should be shot and hung for selling resources that they can't even make back to us, that we have to go job and get worried about and everything else. Like, everybody think about how much stress and energy and anxiety that's being fed, not along with the labor to pay any so-called bills, mortgages, and everything else that shouldn't even be having to be doing. Think about the neighborhoods where folks are killing and robbing because they don't have anything. And ain't because they really beefing, it's because resources. And that's why we stand for political, social, and economic security for all. We know that we have to work on it ourselves first, but we are thinking bigger than just us. We're not those beings who want to get stuff to look cool and be popular and try to act some kind of slick way and do shit that we ain't supposed to be doing. Like, no, like we are here, like really for ourselves and for the people, like the collective at large. It's just Seven Hill Star and a couple other beings can't just do everything ourselves. We'll do as much as we can with the, with the universe and a prophet behind us, but some other folks need to get up on it, need to get down on it.
Islam. Well, I'm in complete agreement with that, bro. Guys, we are here at the Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, page 48 and page 49, right? Which is also page 49, man. That's a very powerful and official document also, provided you are sincerely studying, right? Because remember, before coming across Brother Taj, 3 months, my first 3 months in taking nationality and birthright seriously, it's C. Freeman L for me. So that's how I've been introduced into Moorish science, watching C. Freeman L for 3 months straight. That's my foundation. And then after those 3 months, it was when I first saw my very first video of Brother Taj. All righty. So 9 times out of 10, if C. Freeman L was still on the scene when I was ready to go and meet people, 9 times out of 10, I probably would have been assistant C. Freeman L. All righty. It's just that when I really saw how things was going and what and who was who, and me being, frequenting Moorish Heritage and History School, I was like, okay, well, this is where I think, concept correction is needed. However, never letting go pertaining to my foundation, pertaining to C. Freeman L. Just going to keep it a band with you guys. So, when I analyze these things pertaining to our studies, I am analyzing them based on my foundation, first and foremost. All righty. And that's no disrespect to anybody that I, observed their presentations after C. Freeman L. It's just that I recognize, even when going back and looking at the C. Freeman L playlist, it's like, yeah, this is definitely, where Seven Hill Star's foundation is. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely there. However, I don't agree with, after learning what Black is and what Black isn't, I'm not going to still call unconscious Moors that still decide to look at themselves as Negro, Black colored, light skin, orange skin, green skin people. I'm not sanctioning that. You Black man me or Black woman this. I'm look at you like I don't speak that language. What did they just say? I'm a look around like I don't know what was just said. That's me. That's how I am, because I'm not a liar, and I'm not going to sanction or perpetuate anyone's lie. All right. So here we are, Moorish Holy Temple of Science, Administrative Functions, pages 48 and 49. We're going to do our invocation intern to Moorish American prayers. You see here on page 48, and standing, handsomely standing, due guard in his Moorish Shari's fez is Prophet Noble Drew Ali. All right. Keeping the ear on the little man right now. Just was listening. Pardon me, y'all. I was just listening real quick. Make sure they good. All right. So with that being said, guys, like remember, like Kevin Hart was like, "I know you're not playing in that toilet." Let me stop. So excited. All right. Anyhow, guys, going to do our invocation in. Yes, Prophet Noble Drali is standing handsomely, Dugard, that is, and his Moorish Sharif's Fez and his Ba. And guys, you can hold up your 5 appendages, all 5 on the left hand, just the index and middle on the right. You want to face east, which is symbolic, metaphysically, to going within. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. Islam.
After me?
I'm sorry, pardon me, after Brother Sean. I did that last time, bro. Wow. Islam. Islam.
All right. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. Indeed, guys. Let's go on now to pages 84 and 85 in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. The following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. Administrative Functions, Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office 3603, Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder. Chicago, Illinois, January 18th, 1929. And that's Chicago, Illinois State Republic. All righty, because the state ofs only have 2 capital letters, right? The republics, technically have one, the initial capital letter, and the preceding letter, even if it's abbreviated, all righty, is still dealing with the republic, actually, right? To be proclaimed in every meeting, dear brother, Islam. I'm glad to know that I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was a joke, claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen. American, not that's that. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me, so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. This is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance, and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the nation. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven. It has been proven by my work, in which I have performed in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration, Lewis Lincoln Emerson's inauguration, to represent the Moorish Divine and National Movement. And I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. And moving on to Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, pages 12 and 13, and again, handsomely standing due guard. In his Moorish Shardis, Fez, and Abbas, Prophet Noble Drew Ali on page 12. Page 13 is divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother, in whom I am well pleased, whom we are well pleased, Brother Sean Alim L. Islam.
Islam. I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work and their homes or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans. It causes confusion. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles are violated, justice must then take its course. Any member or group of members who hold malicious feelings toward the temple or the prophet or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet is not right, the temple is not right. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. By order of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam.
Islam. Let's just get right to it. All righty. Go right her. All right. So we're here, guys, again, Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, right? This is where we are, right? Federal Rules of Civil Procedure. All righty. And we're here at Rule 7. All right. Title 3, Pleadings and Motions. Rule 7 is pleadings allowed, form of motions, and other papers. All right. So we're going to get through 7, 7.1, and 8. All righty. And I yield the floor to our beloved brother, whom we are well pleased, Brother Sean Alim L. Islam.
Islam. All right. So Rule 7, pleadings allowed, form of motions, and other papers. A, pleadings. Only these pleadings are allowed. 1, a complaint. 2, an answer to a complaint. 3, an answer to a counterclaim designated as a counterclaim. 4, an answer to a cross-claim. 5, a third-party complaint. 6, an answer to a third-party complaint. And 7, if the court orders one, a reply to an answer. B, motions and other papers. 1, in general. A request for a court order must be made by motion. The motion must, A, be in writing unless made during a hearing or trial. B, state with particularity the grounds for seeking the order, and C, state the relief sought. 2, form. The rules governing captions and other matters of form and pleadings apply to motions and other papers.
That concludes Rule 7. So it's pretty zen right there.
Yeah,
pretty
pretty
much
straightforward.
letting me know. Yeah, it's kind of letting me know, like, hey, this is the type of pleadings, right? So that's you got to know those rules, right? If you want to play that type of court game, right? And in general, a request for a court must be done. Okay, so if that's the case, okay, hey, I want to move the court. Why you want to move the court? What's supporting it? And that's where I think the affidavits come in, provided you want to use affidavits, because affidavit, truth is expressed in an affidavit. All right, cool, great, no problem. There's a maxim there. We're going to express truth via this affidavit to, allow this motion to happen or whatever. I know motions, they say, can be discretionary, things of that nature. However, I think, have the proper backing to it. I don't think that it's going to be turned down. If it's turned down 9 times out of 10, you have some beings processing your motion that 9 times out of 10, they must have a judicial complaint set on them, right? They need to be reported, period. All right. Rule 7.1 here. Let's get it. Yield the floor to you, bro. Islam.
Rule 7.1. Islam. Disclosure statement. A. Who must file contents? 1. Non-governmental corporations. A non-government.
Oh, yeah, I yield.
A non-governmental corporate party or a non-governmental corporation that seeks to intervene must file a statement that A. identifies any parent corporation and any publicly held corporation owning 10% or more of its stock, or
just go ahead, bro. I yield.
or B, states that there is no such corporation. 2, parties or interveners in a diversity case, and any action in an action, in which jurisdiction is based on diversity under 28 U.S.C. 1332A, a party or intervener must, unless the court orders otherwise, file a disclosure statement. The statement must name and identify the citizenship of every individual or entity whose citizenship is attributed to that party or intervener. A, when the action is filed in or removed to federal court, and B, when any later event occurs that could affect the court's jurisdiction under subsection 1332A.
One moment, man, because you just read in, let's see, who must file contents. Number 2 was parties or interveners in a diversity case. Did Brother Sean, first of all, he's reading to you, Title 28 is judicial and judiciary, if I remember that properly, right? So, and I'm probably paraphrasing the title for Title 28. However, it says in the second sentence, the statement must name and identify the citizenship. Now that for you Moorish Americans that study, that should take you right to your judicial notice and proclamation. Or at least when you do this statement, when you're declaring and proclaiming your nationality for the record, it's because you're obviously in a diversity case. So it's always diversity for Moorish Americans, always. Say your appellation, and you already know from the expatriation papers from the Secretary of State, the 52nd session of Congress, I think that's what it was. It something like that second, or was it second session, 52nd Congress, second session? Pardon me. However, the expatriation papers will let you know there is no citizenship within the Islamic code. Moors don't deal with citizenship. Just like Haudenosaunee don't call themselves Iroquois. Haudenosaunee don't call themselves the Iroquois Confederation, or some people say Iroquois, but that Haudenosaunee don't call themselves that. So Moors don't call themselves citizens. You're either a Moor, that's Moorish American, because you're talking about the continent. Descendants of Moroccans made manifest here on this continent, or on this portion pertaining to the world, North, Central, and South. It's not complicated. Not complicated at all. All right? So you must declare for the record what it is. And I know it's saying of every individual, right? Well, we know we're not an individual pertaining to statute, so a non-statutory individual, because a statutory individual is a 5 United States Code 552A individual. And the A is right next to the 2 after 552. There's no space between the 2 and the A, so you can be able to find what you're looking for. However, Title V pertaining to the United States Code is government organization and employees. So you're not a government, you're diversity of citizenship, even on that level, or entity whose citizenship is attributed to that party or intervener. So yeah, Seven Hill Star Astrology Firm is not going to be registered with any state. Why? I'm not a U.S. citizen. I'm an American citizen. Didn't we just read that in the first letter to be read in every meeting? Didn't we just, let's just go back for a second. I want to make sure we comprehending that portion of the letter. But now, since they have found out from the government officials and the nations of the earth, that this is the only sole foundation, the only sole foundation. Whose foundation? Jerry's kids? No, Soul Foundation. Make your donations now to the Soul Foundation. Anyway, the only Soul Foundation that all, that's not 11, that's not a 0 and 2 ones there. That says all. Asiatics, all Asiatics, because the planet's Asia. Aisha. Must depend upon for their earthly salvation as an American citizen. Diversity of citizenship, right there. Because maybe only in the de facto corporations of them being, spies and agents for the Vatican through their so-called court systems. They're like, they're American citizens. Okay, let's leave them alone. We apologize again for the shut up. I've come to the conclusion that most people are illiterate. We were just in class today with Malika, weren't we, Brother Sean?
Mm-hmm.
That attorney sounded like a stone cold idiot. To me, I don't know if I can't say to you. I don't know how to.
Yeah, I'm saying it's like, why are y'all even there if y'all don't, like, y'all claim, I know this, but when presented with, the this that you don't know and start whining, bro, shut the fuck up.
They be bitching and moaning in their little motions. They like, what? Tell him to stop using this many codes and they're confusing me with their legal argument. Shut up with your state Supreme Court certificate to practice law. We're fulfilling it while you practice. Why? Because we have an earthly salvation as an American citizen to defend. Why? Because that's what we depend upon. Just want to make sure we're keeping things together here, right? Not losing our minds, all right?
Or we're clear, Brother Todd. Or we're clear.
Basically, bro, like, come on, let's get it. All right. So I just wanted to point out what Brother Sean just read there. The statement must name and identify the citizenship of every individual or entity whose citizenship is attributed to that party or intervener. Hey,
all right, that's
here. Stop trying to railroad me in situations.
Yeah, that's definitely on that silver cover sheet.
Mm-hmm. A lot of people are dealing with stuff in fraud, especially you brothers out there that's dealing with child support. Man, I'm telling you, I think that's who I'm seeking to really help the most too, man. Because I think we should beat the bricks off of every child support enforcement agency. Beat the bricks off of them, jurisprudently speaking. Right? Use the jurisprudence and beat them silly.
Beat them off the bone, as some would say.
Yeah. Their attorneys, their offices, shut them down. Like, oh my God. They figured out it's a short-term loan program and These people are not qualified. They're not foster parents. Child support is for foster parents. So there's an issue that's happening. Clearly a diversity issue. Because people dealing with child support situations are fraudulently acting like they're something that they're not. It's only for federal, state, and municipal agents. You're neither one of those. Why are you doing practices for child support? Women and men. Why are you doing it? Oh, keep telling you, I think people are illiterate.
Y'all grown enough to have them babies. Y'all grown enough to handle whatever needs to be held, instead of putting beings who are at diversity into beings private life. So you're making that private stuff public, and now one's having to go through all that when folks should just be grown, honestly, and responsible. And some, if it don't work out, still get to the point to where what's needed to be said and done can be handled as parents without trying to get somebody else involved, and then it has to come to this, which they ain't supposed to be in there anyway. So it's really like, get them out of there, man.
Right. By the time you like McReal say, like, yeah, man, get a records, and Malika also resounds it, get the records requests from the child support agency. Because ultimately, if people actually recognize it, someone stole your identity. Right? How did they get the so-called social security number in the name?
Mm-hmm.
That's identity theft. And then who's using the social security number and don't recognize that 48 United States Code 4088 is how they need to be getting their butt spanked? Is that right? Is it Title 48? 4808? I mean, for Title 48 USC 408, or is it 42 USC 408? I need to refresh my. You know what? Let's do a refresher, shall we? Let's do a refresher, just to make sure there, buddy. Is it 42 USC 408 penalties? Okay, it's 42 USC 408 penalties. Let's go to number 8, shall we? Number 8. Whoever discloses, uses, or compels the disclosure of a social security number of any person in violation of the laws of the United States or conspires to commit any offense described in any of the paragraphs 1 through 4 shall be guilty of a felony. That's just one thing to add into beating the bricks. I'm telling you, the attorneys for family law and trying to enforce child support, the people that work for child support enforcement, I'm serious. They should probably be like kicking a stool from under their legs after they've hung themselves from their ceiling type stuff. I'm serious. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. People are taking advantage of your ignorance. That's all I wanted to really show right there. Okay, Hauser, back to here. I yield, bro. It's on you.
All right, so we had B, time to file. Supplemental filing. A party, intervener, or proposed intervener must, 1, file the disclosure statement with its first appearance, pleading, petition, motion, response, or other request addressed to the court, and 2, promptly file a supplemental statement if any required information changes.
Jesus, first like Christ. All right. And finally, number 8, before we go into the Zodiac Constitution. I yield, bro. Islam.
All right. We have Rule 8, general rules of pleading. A, claim for relief. A pleading that states a claim for relief must contain 1, a short and plain statement of the grounds for the court's jurisdiction, unless the court already has jurisdiction and the claim needs no new jurisdictional support. 2, a short and plain statement of the claim showing that the pleader is entitled to relief. And 3, a demand for the relief sought, which may include relief and the alternative or different types of relief.
Looky, Astro Cookie.
Let's see. B, defenses, admissions, and denials. One.
Hold on, 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I got you though. Just need to mute my mic. Do your thing.
All right. There we go. 1, in general. In responding to a pleading, a party must, take me other way, bro. Other way. Chill. A party must A, state in short and plain terms its defenses to each claim asserted against it, and B, admit or deny the allegations asserted against it by an opposing party. 2, denials, responding to the substance. A denial must fairly respond to the substance of the allegation. 3, general and specific denials. A party that intends in good faith to deny, what does that say? All of the allegations of a pleading, including the jurisdictional grounds, may do so by a general denial. A party that does not intend to deny all the allegations must either specifically deny designated allegations or generally deny all except those specifically admitted. 4, denying part of an allegation. A party that intends in good faith to deny only part of an allegation must admit the part that is true and deny the rest. 5, lacking knowledge or information. A party that lacks knowledge or information sufficient to form a belief about the truth of an allegation must so state, and the statements has the effect of a denial. 6, effect of failing to deny. An allegation other than one relating to the amount of damages is admitted if a responsive pleading is required and the allegation is not denied. If a responsive pleading is not required, an allegation is considered denied or avoided. C, affirmative defenses. 1, in general, in responding to a pleading, a party must affirmatively state any avoidance or affirmative defense, including accord and satisfaction, arbitration and award, assumption of risk, contributory negligence, duress, estoppel, failure of consideration, fraud, illegality, injury by a fellow servant, latches, license, payment, release, res judicata, statute of frauds, statute of limitations, and waiver. 2, mistaken designation. If a party mistakenly designates a defense as a counterclaim or a counterclaim as a defense, the court must, if justice requires, treat the pleading as though it were correctly designated and may impose terms for doing so. D, pleading to be concise and direct. Alternative statements and consistency. 1, in general, each allegation must be simple, concise, and direct. No technical form is required. 2, alternative statements of a claim or defense. A party may set out 2 or more statements of a claim or defense alternatively or hypothetically, either in a single count or defense or in separate ones. If a party makes alternative statements, the pleading is sufficient if any one of them is sufficient. 3, inconsistent claims or defenses. A party may state as many separate claims or defenses as it has, regardless of consistency. E, construing pleadings. Pleadings must be construed as to do justice.
Now, think about that for a second. Let's just really think about the last 2 that you spoke on, bro. Really think about 2 and 3. And I'm looking more at 3. Right? Inconsistent claims or defenses. A party may state as many separate claims or defenses as it has, regardless of consistency. So when we reading cases and people like, oh, it's inconsistent, it's like, how you know these people. they,
As I was thinking, attorneys' defenses be inconsistent as fuck.
Yeah, and it's and or if they try to blame that what you're saying is that, it's like, bro, hold up, wait 1 second, something's not right here. Like
One more thing.
yeah, they're hoping that you won't go, well, hold on, according to rule 8. Hold on, let's see how we do it. Let's just see real quick. See affirmative defenses. According to rule 8D3, it says that I can state as many separate claims or defenses as I have, regardless of consistencies. You know what I'm saying? Like, objection to him saying it's inconsistent, because according to rule 8D3, I can state as many claims. You know what I'm saying? And that's just kind of like what I'm saying. Is why I believe it was, when she be like, yo, did you put in an objection? Like it's starting to really go in, bro. Okay, I'm gonna stop screen sharing.
Objection. He's not supposed to be talking. Denied. He starts talking. Objection. He really not supposed to be talking. You gonna deny your shit again? Objection. Both y'all disqualified because you practiced from the bench. He ain't supposed to be talking. It's like your homie said 101. Now your homie get beat up. Now everybody want to jump in. Oh, no. He said 101.
I have it ready, but I was gonna say if you got it ready. You got the Zodiac Constitution ready?
I can pull that up real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I know I got it ready. I was just like thinking to myself, like,
Oh shit.
so, bro, I would like for you to go in on the introduction. And it's funny because this was here on the cover, right? Is what's quoted in Article 7 pertaining to the Zodiac Constitution by our beloved brother, who I call Caliph. The reason why I say Caliph, because Caliph is one who defends the faith, right? I call Charles Mosley Bey Caliph. No one else has to adopt that. It's just, to me, according to my studies thus far, he is definitely defending Moorish Americans, clearly. You know what I mean? However, it's very interesting to read. If the lawmakers of the 50 Union State Society of North America should attempt to ignore the Moorish American zodiac law and birthrights of this Constitution, it would be an act of supreme violation of their own Magna Carta, because they wouldn't have their Magna Carta if it wasn't for our Zodiac Constitution allowing them to have their Magna Carta. And this is why I think Moorish Americans especially should look at these things. Like, yeah, it's cool, to do jurisprudence exercises just so that you can know what technically you are not qualified to be held to. However, those that are trying to bring claims against you, take your property, try to light upon your life's energy by being vampires and telling you have to specifically perform by doing this obligation or performing that obligation when you're not qualified to do that. However, they're taking advantage of your ignorance in actually knowing that. All right. So since you don't know that, they're taking advantage. So I would like Brother Sean to first read the introduction. All right. Read Brother Taj's preface. All right. And I yield the floor to you, bro. Islam.
We got the preface. Let's see. The Zodiac Constitution. All right. Moorish adepts, Moorish scientists. Hey, leave that shit on. Moorish adepts, Moorish scientists, master masons, Eastern stars, sheiks, Sikhises, neophytes, great seal PhDs, LLD, the erudite of jurisprudence, Amanuensis masters, and world scholars have studied and marveled upon analyzing the written zodiac constitution. This highly qualified document was penned by C.M. Bey, a 33rd, and 360 degree Free Moorish Master Mason, Master Astrologer, PhD, LOD, and Constitution lawgiver. This master work was copyrighted and registered in the Library of Congress, Copyright Office, and with the Department of Justice at Washington, D.C., United States Republic of North America. There are interesting and effective literary characteristics about Charles Moseley Bey, C.M. Bey's written zodiac constitution, which go beyond the fact of its being clear, simple, and direct. Moorish scholars will take note that it maintains the ancient Moabite, Moorish scientific, metaphysical, and spiritual approach to the number 7, in harmony with the natural constitution of man's makeup. Other learned intellectuals of the varied and advanced Gnostic schools of the world and of government, no doubt, must appreciate its uncluttered directness and integrity towards justice. The written zodiac constitution was not readily available to the masses due to the nature of limited access to Moorish schools of learning and the suppression. One second.
Look at that. So think about that, y'all. Think about that. Suppression, right? Why weren't people, why is this knowledge not known? I mean, you can clearly get it from the Library of Congress, right? You know, so what we have to see is people are practicing things to be against. It's always been a war. It's been a war. Beings that are calling themselves Christians, but really are Constantinians, based on the Nicene Constantinopolitan Creed of 325 AD. And in that creed, the Niceno-Constantinopolitan or Constantinopolitan, some will say, creed, where it's basically a war declaration against the heirs pertaining to the land. So you see Brother Taj in one of his most recent presentations having read an apology, a bulletin from the Vatican being read. Can we see now it's always been Christian crusading to hurt the heirs of the land and put them in a mindset now they're calling themselves colors out of a crayon box, as if it's their identification, as if it's their heritage, as if it's the mindset pertaining to their ancient foremothers and forefathers, and it absolutely is not. I yield, Brother Sean, Islam, the way you will read.
Then you even go read the Clerk of Destinies. You know, he go seeing Charles Moseley, C.M. Bey, goes in on the the only 2 empires. So then you read that, and then you go back and look at the history, and it's like, once again, beings will come to quit being denial of the ancestry. And with that, I yield. So let me go back to that last page. So I got this one with my notes. Good. So the suppression of information practices of Union State society, politicians, and other secret societies, policies of clubism culture. The true history and law of North America has never been revealed. Has never been revealed. Has never been revealed to the subjugated masses. This antisocial practice is a part of the necessary socialization tools for maintaining veiled economic, political, and bureaucratic servitude in the Americas, particularly in the Northgate. Let us be qualified in our understanding that the Zodiac Constitution is not just the actual written 7-article document as presented to you for reading, historical analysis, and law study. The general populace must have access to that consciousness involving the true history and scientific foundation of civilization and culture on the Earth planet. Thusly, one immediately and wisely recognizes what actually comprises the Zodiac Constitution and the elemental nature of what inspired C.M. Bey to produce the inclusively complex scale of his compact and evidentiary treatise on right law, quote unquote, government. What comprises the Zodiac Constitution is expressed and revealed in the first opening paragraph of Article 1, as written by C.M. Bey. His literary works have come manifest by way of a knowledge of the zodiac or workings of nature, quote unquote, the Moabite Moorish code for civilization, and the sciences mentioned. And so one can surmise that astrology, the 12 signs of the zodiac, an expansion of the code of the mathematic scale involving the numbers 0 through 9, the science of geometry G, and the Arabic alphabet, comprise Moabite Moorish science, the culture, and the foundation of civilization on the planet Earth. A logistical study of the Zodiac Constitution should generate years of research and recovery pertaining to world culture and true American history for all who seek truth. Let us affirm our honor for our ancient mothers and fathers. Embrace knowledge and shun ignorance. Embrace knowledge and shun ignorance. Embrace knowledge and shun ignorance. Help to uplift fallen humanity. Kabul Haq Salam Kriyatum Adul Islam. Assalamu alaikum, Vadi Makum, brothers in Street Bay. And when you think about it, remember there's so many things, ideologies that folks are stuck upon. So most we already know has not been exposed to this information. And even then, they would probably still reject it. Even though it's telling them everything that they crying about, they haven't been taught or learned. It'll tell them, but then they're not going to go do the research. And reading this document, with discernment, even if you don't want to believe, as we said earlier, try to prove it wrong. And then you only see what it really is. So I yield, bro.
Yeah, so I mean, just even looking at this, like, again, like, I hope, like, guys, think about this, all right? Just think about it, all right? Really think. This is the foundation of all operations on the planet. People have taken this foundation and corrupted it. There would be no Magna Carta without this. We need to be clear on that. There'd be no Magna Carta without the Zodiac Constitution. And Brother Taj's preface or preface, prolegomena, right, is to kind of set the tone pertaining to what beings are actually reading when they set their eyes on this. How many of you are, oh, well, I didn't know it was just based on the zodiac. I just thought that was some Moorish stuff. some pocket group of beings that wear buckets with tassels hanging from it on their heads. And no, this is Fez, F-E-Z, fathers of the eternal zodiac. Father is the process which mother chooses. This isn't a fashion show. It's not a poppy show. All right. This has nothing to do with, oh, these brothers sound deep and intelligent. Oh man, no. This is why you're having problems in the world. You're having war because people aren't being realistic about this. And what's never been revealed to the general masses, because why? Because people are like, oh, they're illiterate. Let's just keep this in our orders where we're expressing intellect. They're not within these certain orders. Cool. They're dumbasses. Let them kill themselves. Let the dead bury the dead. They're going to fight over, that we're just going to give them some more social engineering terms to have them fight over. This year, we're going to let's throw out Aboriginal and let's throw out Indigenous, and then have them not even see that Aboriginal Indigenous is just a reference for them to get back to who they actually are. That's why even we have First Aid Ministry, First Aboriginal Indigenous Defense Ministry. Some double entendre there, even in the abbreviation pertaining to AID, which is Aboriginal Indigenous Defense. Because it's like, you guys, your mindset, you need to be somewhere where you can be defended while you're gaining your mind back. That's the whole purpose pertaining to the Moorish Holy Temple of Science adopting as its corporate name Moorish Science Temple of America. Why are your Moorish Science Temples of Americas not doing like Prophet Noble Drew Ali? Remember, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is perfect, therefore the temples are perfect. What's going on in the temples as far as their administration, it is maladministration because you probably have illiterates running it. How many of us have ever really thought about that? People are illiterate trying to run temples. JLV, peaceful greetings to you. And yeah, I saw what you sent me in Telegram, JLV. People handwriting, a notice from being abducted by these beings. I didn't read it all the way, but I saw it was handwritten. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, happy Holy Venus degree, everyone. And JLV, just thank you for sending it. We'll go and analyze it, I guess, and just see what it is. Antonio Bay, he says, Islam, Moors, peace and love. Mother Sahar says, Islam, happy Holy Venus degree to all indeed. Mother Tyro says, peace and love, everyone indeed. Brother Tyro Bay. Consuelo says, peace and love all. Halo City Young, his brother Al Nora Latif L. He says, Shalom, Moors, peace, love, and light to you all. Happy Holy Day, Muslims. Indeed, brother. Happy Holy Venus degree to you also. Mary Bagnashi says, peace and love. And the JLV is Ad Living Soul Foundation in the chat. From when I said it, Very Intelligent says, peace. JLV says, embrace knowledge and shun ignorance. Exert reason, be prudent. Indeed, indeed. Brother Derek Blash Bay says, yes, I'm studying both Zodiac and Clock of Destiny 1 and 2. Indeed, indeed. JLV says, thank you. Brother Hasan, indeed, I appreciate you. All righty, gratitude indeed to you. All right, so with that, guys, right? Let's I guess we can move forward. I really hope you guys got what Brother Sean just read there, right? So this, and like I said, first and foremost, is for you Moorish Americans. This is what you're supposed to be well versed in comprehending, and this is what you need to get to. So it was brought up, me and the bros were studying, and there's two things I just want to highlight is Article 2 and Article 4. So Brother Sean, can you zoom in on Article 2 where it's taking up most of the screen there, bro? Please and thank you. And we'll be patient, right, guys? We'll be patient as Brother Sean zooms in to get it there so it can take up most of the screen so we can see this, all right? All right, so Article 2, Zodiac Constitution Birthright of the Moorish American, the B's and L's. Now, for your homework, because this document is in Prophet Noble Drew Ali University for those of you that clicked on the link, right, and are part of Prophet Noble Drew Ali University. You know, I didn't do any editing yet. I'm going to wait till after this, do the editing and put in the description and all that, and you guys get the links like that once I do that. You know what I mean? And put our cash apps in there and all that also. You know what I mean? Because I know maybe I should start putting the cash up so you guys can donate or whatever, but it's really was only and is only about making sure you guys do what you do. And I'm pretty sure, you know, you find it in your heart to want to donate, you'll do it whether, you know, you feel compelled because you see a cash app pinned to the top of the comments or not. I think when you're sincere, you're going to do it. You know what I mean? Period. You know, it doesn't matter if it's, pinned to the top. We pinned our cash apps at the top, Brother Sean. And yeah, that should, you know, it's, guys, just support. You guys already know. I and Brother Sean, we do not punch clocks. All right. So every bit counts for us to be able to do what we do. You know what I mean? And technically, you know, we can do more people, you know, who are sincere about, you know, their contributions so that we can do more. Because I'm telling you, every hood has somewhere close to them or a few, you know, miles away, they have a Jewish community and a Jewish community center and tons of synagogues. Where's your Moorish community? Your Moorish community center, right? Those things weren't even discussed until Seven Hill Star started bringing it to the forefront. And then, you know, you got people out there that want to call themselves crayon colors, Aboriginal, Indigenous, Indian, and all these other things, Native Americans, and all this stuff that's just not
distraction.
Yeah, it's distraction.
A competent distraction.
Right. And it's not
a non-competent distraction.
Correct. It's not in honoring your ancient foremothers and forefathers. Like, guys, look, we can solve these issues a lot sooner. You get back to being sincere and studying. I wasn't trying to be a Moorish American. I studied and I was like, whoa, okay, so this is my people. Called my grandmother, my father's mother, and started asking her things. And she's Jehovah's Witness. However, she knows what's going on with Moorish science and knows what time it is with it. You know what I mean? And gifted me my first fez. You know what I mean? So what do you do when someone that's a part of Kingdom Hall gifts you your first fez? Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the man. That's all I can say to that. Article 2, Zodiac Constitution Birthrights of the Moorish American, the B's and L's. Brother Sean, what we got there, man? It's 2 paragraphs, guys. So this is the first paragraph. And of course, I'm an ad-lib. Go ahead, bro. Yeah, I'm serious, member. Okay, go ahead.
All right. Since the 12 jurymen of the 50 Union States Magna Charter, document of white supremacy, quote unquote there, and the 9 judges of their Supreme Court were founded upon our Moorish Zodiac 12 signs, mathematical constitution.
Jesus Christ, they wouldn't even have their Supreme Court and their Magna Carta if it wasn't for us. Go ahead.
Were founded upon our Moorish Zodiac 12 signs, mathematical constitution. The lawmakers have no jurisdiction over the free Moors. The B's
they have no jurisdiction. None. So you ULC bar rats, you bar members that are hypnotizing minds to go out there and use excessive force and then, we're going to protect them under that. You have no jurisdiction over free Moors, the B's and L's. So that means all you're doing is war. And then you're trying to cover it up as if it's the law. It's not. That's war. You guys are doing war. That's what it is. It's war tactics. You're doing war. It's war. That's what it is. And you're hoping people can be socially engineered to look at, but that's just how it is in life. And you got to follow the laws. It's not laws. You guys are being brutalized psychologically, first and foremost, because as you think, you'll be. So if they're beating you at your thinking, you can't be ye self. Okay, go ahead, I yield.
In the inherited land of the Moorish nation, namely U.S.A, Canada, Central and South America.
Right. It's namely because that's not what it actually is. It's just that that's what's being occupied. The land's being occupied by those entities, and that's what beings can only identify it as because they're illiterate. Because the general masses are illiterate. It's not disrespect. Think about how people will arrogantly defend being a crayon color.
Man, like literally really think about it. Like just sit and think how they will defend it, fight you, proudly represent it, and this approve and everything else of the things that they're claiming and should be. And this ain't just what our thinking is. Like really sit here and look at all these that probably only here go by crayons. Just really think.
And then we'll try to swear you up and down that that's who you used before you put on that fez. You know what I'm saying? You was just a real nigga like the rest. No, I wasn't a real pale skin. I wasn't a real monkey. And no disrespect. I'm just being honest with what the word nigger is. The troglodyte nigger is a chimpanzee. Period. I'm not a chimpanzee. I'm not a real chimp. Right? There's people talk about being real niggas out here, you know what I'm saying? Stop it. That's not benefiting the world. We rule the world. Why? Because we were being loving, honorable. We were looking out for everyone. What'd you say, bro?
I was saying the only things that go ahead.
No, I'm saying Mother Karmisha Islam. Peace and greetings to her also. Celestial vibrations, mother. Yeah. Go ahead, I get it, bro.
The only beings that are benefiting are the ones getting paid off your ignorance, that are getting paid to be an actor to promote this shit. They don't care about you. They getting a so-called paper and all that and taking care of their family and loved ones. But they got a karmic dip that they're going to go through for promoting that. So they better enjoy what material things they can, in this so-called lifetime. But anyways, yeah, they're getting paid to promote bullshit to get most of folks to go with the bullshit. And they don't believe it. They tell you it all the time. The rappers, singers, and all that, like, and most of them, some of them might not know, but some that do, but, they're promoting these things to keep the bullshit going. I mean, it's really not hard to see. If one really wants truth, one's going to have to accept everything that's not truth. And a lot of the things that have been promoted is not truth. We see it every day. Think about when you look on your social media, if you read your favorite newspaper articles or something, via the internet, your TV shows, your movies, your talk shows, podcasts, it's everywhere. Like if I had this one big hand, I could, individually smack all the liars, in like one big wave energetically, I would.
Yo.
They were like, dang, you feel that? I don't know. But, it's like, let's keep it going. So the Moorish American nationality and their surnames, Bey and L, are their inherited birthrights without a legal due process.
Jesus Christ.
Of the lawmakers. The statute codes, general assembly makers of the Union Society. U.S.A. What are Moorish?
You don't have to declare your nationality at the courthouse.
The Social
Security office. No. Just no. This is your zodiac constitution. Like, are you?
That's like, hey man, I'm done eating fried food. But all right, cool. Now I'm gonna eat this grilled chicken with the lemon, right? Because it ain't fried, but it's like, you still dirtying it up. Like,
So, and then Charles Mosley Bay has the last sentence of that paragraph in harmony with chapter 47 pertaining to our Holy Quran, right? Our Holy Quran, chapter 47, verses 9, 10, and 11. 347 minutes, 9, 10, and 11. And he says what there, Brother Sean?
What our Moorish forefathers were, we are today. They said our Moorish forefathers. They ain't say black. They ain't say crayon. They ain't say light skin, pale, whatever else, they come up with. Our Moorish forefathers were. We are today without a doubt or contradiction, namely Moorish.
So in other words, even when Brother Hasan says, I'm a white man, I'm not speaking about referencing the skin complexion like most people think. I'm referencing my status, my standing, because of where my mind is. And we're going to go to Article 4, right? And then we're going to yield and do our invocation out. Article 4. I trust you guys are really getting this, right? And really see what's happening. All right? Article 4.
Put a 1 in the chat if you're leaning with it and rocking with it because you're getting the truth.
Yeah, are you guys really seeing and then you got to think about those Moorish Americans or people that have Bay and L and are not keeping it simple like this. This is simple. Zodiac Constitution, Treaty of Peace and Friendship, Treaty of Tripoli, Article 6, the expatriation papers from the Secretary of State of the United States. Foundational documents. Our authority on the back of your 101 questionnaire and resolution number 75. Just as a small combination of documents, just a pop, 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 real quick on some leave me alone. Stop trying to drag me into your Magna Carta Christian church and temple system of Christ, the King of Jews. I yield, bro. Article 4.
Had adequate employment and protection for Moorish Americans. Every lawmaker, the heads of industry and business enterprise of the 50 States Union Order are obligated members and citizens of the Magna Charta of Christian Church and the temple system of Christ, the King of Jews, meaning jury over the wealth and culture of the living Moorish nation of North America.
And they're coming up with some pretty weak verdicts, bro. Weak verdicts. Because they're violating their own Magna Carta code, which means they're violating the Moorish Zodiac Constitution. Their jury? Jury? I'm not a member nor citizen of the Magna Carta Christian Church and Temple System of Christ, the King of Jews. There's no way I can. Well, I thought it was Moorish Science Temple of America. That's not Magna Carta Christian Church and Temple System. And some people say, well, yeah, it is because Prophet Noble Drew Ali, but that's not where my mind is. Imagine you got your land conveyance, right? The land conveyance that you are behind the wheel of. Is it at the car wash right now? Does your land conveyance stay at the car wash? What they call the car wash? No, you go through the car wash, get the bird shit off of it, get the windows clean, vacuum out the inside, and then you move right along. You don't stay at the car wash. JLV says open and receptive. Mother Sahara puts a 1. Brother Derek Blash Bay puts a 1. JLV puts a 1. Keep It Moorish puts a 1. So we got to be clear on these things, guys. I'm not forgetting my foundation. However, I'm not going to be stuck in my mind at a certain level, which shows I'm not growing. How many of you are still in kindergarten right now? I mean, literally, you can't wait for story time, graham crackers and apple juice on the magic carpet, and you hang your book bag in the little cubby. How many of you are still in kindergarten? You're not still there. Your land conveyance isn't at the car wash. All righty? So just because the temple is for cleaning up the minds of unconscious Moors, which are really illiterate Moors. The temple was to clean you up for you to become competent and well-read so that you can take your place amongst the affairs pertaining to minds. You can't take your place amongst the affairs pertaining to minds when your own mind is dirty. Your brain dirty. You need your brain washed. That's what I'm like when people are like, oh, that's brainwashing. I mean, since when is washing negative? The brain's been dirtied for so long. Why is it not being washed? I'm confused. Actually, I'm not confused. I'm being facetious and just pointing out how illiterate people talk, how illiterate people speak. That's brainwashing.
Some folks just want to stay dirty, bro.
They like stinking thinking, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Shitty thoughts. Okay, anyway.
Duty thoughts. they got duty stained thoughts. They got duty stained draws, duty stained thoughts.
They got streaky considerations.
They got mud butt thoughts.
Oh, stop,
swamp ass thoughts.
Wow, man. Wow. You're hilarious, bro. All right. Next paragraph, and then we'll yield.
I mean, we should say that next time when you speak to someone, they start scratching their head when you give them truth. Oh, what the mud butt thoughts itching? You can't think straight.
Yeah.
You got to scratch that dirty butt.
Basically,
dirty butt.
Got to be sitting on their brains.
All right, bro.
The pathogens in the fecal matter is irritating. Let me stop. Go ahead. I yield. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. He just said right. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. We're metaphysically speaking.
I am. Love, right?
Islam.
Love and wisdom, right? So we can give that to Yahweh too. We can give you the metaphysics, or we can beat you with your own dogma, since she wants to worship these characters, right? We can still beat you with that.
Islam.
However, therefore, by the Moors zodiac constitution, the Moors, the Bays and L's can demand that it say, please, sir, give us reparations and everything else. It said demand adequate employment, food, clothing, shelter, medical care, equal rights, respect, and protection from mob violence, rape, and injustices, otherwise without being obligated, without needing to provide a social or birth certificate, because that's what they try to make you think that you need to get anything, or that you need a license to travel around, because one's not doing business, so you don't need any of these things that one would think they have to, and otherwise, which makes them obligated because they're unknowing to the human church and religious system of the order Christ, the quote unquote white son, idol guy.
So yeah, when you think you need a license, a passport, a mortgage, a registration, a birth certificate, you're saying you need to be obligated to the Union Church and religious system of the Order of Christ.
It's like, I don't want to be I am, I want to be a you.
Do your homework, guys. Read all of the Zodiac Constitution. Read all 7 articles and take your time. Don't rush through it. Take your time. You should be able to get it done in one night or one day. And take your time and make notes next to it based on your comprehension. You know, I went over the Zodiac Constitution on Facebook Live years ago. And maybe I and Brother Sean can go over it, you know, in the near dimensions to manifest, termed the future. Because I think that's where you need to put yourselves. Yes, go to the jurisprudence gym, exercise things in your mind, grasp the concepts, but then realize, right? Then realize, like, yo, bump all that. Because it's not for you. However, you can be like, oh, this what they supposed to be held to. Got it. Cool. Because what I'm gonna do, if I need adequate food, clothing, shelter, employment, things of that nature, I shouldn't have to be obligated. To a system of things that's jury over my culture. That's diversity.
Can y'all imagine Jeffrey telling Will and everybody else to get their own shit?
They're trustees. They're servants. They're supposed to be like, yes, boss, I sure like to get this for you there, Brother Bay or Brother L or Mother Bay or Mother L. I sure like to get this for you. And then you're supposed to be like, prove your religion through this religious test. Don't pay attention to Article 6 that no religious test is required. But dude, we need to be stronger, guys. Straight up. Mother Sahar says, indeed, 12 pages for the 12 signs. Hey, looky. So JLV says. All right, guys, let's 5 appendages on the right. First of all, any questions, comments, and suggestions going once? Right? Questions, comments, and suggestions going twice, brother. Brother Derek's laughing at that, you know, what we just going off of about these people just being belligerent trustees that are jury, right, over the culture. You're trustees, right?
And they're just as bad. You think about the folks that will defend themselves being crayons. You have beings on the other side defending that what they're doing is right, and it's not. And they haven't even read their own stuff. So it's both sides that, you know, needs to go pick their own switch out, right? How they niggas do. Go pick your own. Oh, you wanted to go get the little bitty switch? Nah, you see, I knew you was gonna do that. Now I got this nice thick switch right here. It's both sides, y'all. Like, and it's just so much brainwashing that I feel like when one like is truly sincere to studying and you actually, you know, wants to go with their heart, they should be able to see it plain and clearly. Like, it's right in your face. There's really nothing hidden. Only thing that's hidden is your mind and your ears and your senses trying to tell you that it's out the way, you know, it's crazy and everything else. But I yield, bro.
Yep. JLV says, as Sonny said earlier, they need to appear like butlers. Mother Sahar says, sincere gratitude. Brother Dark Blash Bay says, thank you all. Peace, study. You all, we will see you. We will see ye all, right? Non-statutory you. We'll see the non-statutory you all. Sunday for our Astro Civic Sunday. What's that? Is that 36? I think it's Astro Civic Sunday 36, and we're going in on chapter 38. Wow, does that mean when we get to Astro Civic Sunday 37, we'll be on chapter 37?
Yep, this will be 36. Yep, this Sunday is 36.
Exactly. It's Astro Civic Sunday 36, and we're going in on chapter 38. the soul of man, the Solomon, right? So it's going to be great, guys. It's going to be really fun to go over that. So like to see you guys Sunday. Remember, go to 7hillstar.com. Schedule your Mirror Astro Literacy sessions with Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey. Get your mental magician report from Brother Sean. Why not get them both at once, right? The eleemosynary tuition for that is only 306 units, right? 153 per brother. You will not be disappointed in getting what it is that we provide, because we actually give more than what you think. We really do. So with that being said, guys, it was so much things that we had, man. We got clothing, all of that. What you need to do is go to, and I'm saying this respectfully, on Instagram, 7 Hill Stars Instagram, and Our Astrology Street's Instagram. There's a link tree there, guys, right? And maybe I should put the link tree link maybe even in the description from here. But I mean, there's so many links that are there that you can see what's going on. But if you go to Instagram and check our link tree, guys, you will not be disappointed. And also check out on Instagram, guys. I can't say this enough, because when she crafts, she delivers. All righty. And we're talking about copper crystal canvases. All righty. You guys got to check out the page Copper Crystal Canvases. It's some amazing ideas and concepts pertaining to jewelry, all righty, made by a mother that is sincerely Moorish American. You guys will not be disappointed. 7 Hill Stars completely supporting, copper crystal canvases. I think even when Mother Carmisha, if she's still here, had ordered the literature. And it took me some time to get the literature to her because I had to get some things. So that's very rare that it takes me some time to get things to you guys. However, Copper Crystal Canvases had gifted Mother Carmisha some lock jewelry. All righty. So it's, copper and crystals that can go on the locks. It's some things that can go around your fingers. It's a whole bunch of different things being done. And copper crystal canvases are really making sure that they're introducing to the Moorish community, first and foremost, however, all of you, electroculture, all righty, where you can get the copper tools, so to speak, and that she's actually, crafting herself to help the energy in your garden. So not only does she have, the copper crystal canvases that you can, have on your body, you can also have it in your garden to help promote the growth as well as promote keeping pests away. All righty. So, I have a copper crystal canvas ring on the pinky there, right? Some people will say this is the evil eye to keep evil away. Like, that's what I've been donning on the pinky here. All righty. And I gotta admit, I like the energy, you know what I mean? Because I got copper here, silver next to it, and some gold in the ears. So now I get to, have the energy of the sun, moon, and Venus, you know what I mean, on my body, and get to actually feel that energy. It's very balancing. I gotta admit, I really do like the copper. I even, it was like copper crystal canvases. I need some bracelets. I want some copper bracelets. You know what I'm saying? I think I want copper, bracelet or bangles. You know what I'm saying? So, guys, like I said, Instagram. All righty, 7 Hill Star, Our Astrology Street. To hit the link tree there. Copper Crystal Canvases is actually too. When you go to 7hillstar.com and you go to the About Us page on 7hillstar.com, Copper Crystal Canvases is in the About Us page. All righty. So you guys can actually see there, and there's a button, the Instagram button will lead you to Copper Crystal Canvases Instagram also, right? So check that out. Guys, don't forget, Mirror Astro Literacy Sessions. All of the bros, all of us are qualified to do it. It's just that, in fashion of how we just really get it out to you guys. You can come to me for your Mirror Astro Literacy Sessions, or Brother Sean. However, we just first and foremost saying when it comes to Brother Sean, you can get your mental magician report, or you can come to I too. But we want to just start promoting that you guys get them both, right? And that's what we are going to start making sure you do. Also, soon, like I said, me and Brother Sean are going to finish the brainstorming on it. We'll be having an announcement soon about a workshop. Guys, this astrology workshop that we're going to do is going to be a 7 Hill Star astrology workshop. We want you guys to come and enjoy yourselves. Come and enjoy astrology. It's going to be for all levels of astrologers. All righty, whether you're just getting into astrology, maybe you don't want to be an astrologer, but you enjoy being able to read it and you just want the comprehension. You're a novice, you're intermediate, you're an expert. You guys, you're going to come on through. All righty, we're going to do it via Zoom and we're going to have some things prepared for you. And it's just going to be a 2-day workshop on Saturday and Sunday. And we'll probably do between 8 to 12 hours, 4 to 6 hours on a Saturday, 4 to 6 hours on a Sunday. Will not be disappointed. We'll have a few things for you all at the end. For those that complete both days, we will have a treat for you all. All righty. Won't tell you what it is. However, once it's complete, we'll have a treat for you guys. All righty. Questions, comments, and/or suggestions going thrice? No questions, comments, and/or suggestions. That is fine. I'm going to extend all 5 appendages on the left hand, just the index in the middle on the right. And this time you are repeating after me, either aloud or in your heart. So we're going to face east, which is symbolic. Facing east, which is symbolic. Metaphysically, you're going within. And you can repeat after me, either aloud or in your heart. Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My God.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen. I love you oh so much. Thank you oh so much for sticking around with us all the way to the end. We'll see you all Sunday for Astro Civic Sunday 36 for the Holy Quran devotional countdown. We're going in on chapter 38, Holy Instructions by the Prophet, Soul of Man. This is where we say to you all on behalf of 7 Hill Star Iron Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey. That is my bro. He is.
Oh yeah. Soy hermano, brother Shanalim. Oh, hey. Soy hermano, Shanalim ill. You already know that all is well. And usually we do this at the beginning, but now we at the end. But bro, can you help me out, bro?
That's right. On behalf of brother Braveheart. And brother Terrell, Tamari Bey, brother Corey Bey, and brother Robert Bey. This is where we say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.